got the wild idea. So, while I drive, later that day, why don't I just take up a drive real quick? It's 40 minutes. I'll face down the dragon that's been haunting me, the hike that I want to do, because I'm doing it tomorrow. The weather was clearing up and all that. And drove up there. Man, there's this thing called Tioga Road. That sucker ain't no joke. That is curvy. You're driving on the side of the mountains. It is every stereotypical drive through a national park that you might have seen back in the day. This
Hmm.
is it. Have both hands on the wheel. Pay attention. Don't have nothing playing on your radio or nothing. Definitely ain't looking down on your phone because you can launch yourself off the side of a mountain for real. Go back, had trouble sleeping because this is the thing that's haunting me. This is the hike I said I'm going to do. I know this is going to challenge me. And you know what? Couldn't sleep. Got up early in the morning, showered, make sure I had everything packed already, pre-packed the night before. Bottom line is, I figured this. I wasn't ever the best athlete. I wasn't bad, but I could persevere and I could not quit, and I
Hmm.
could put one foot in front of the other one more time. Yeah, that's it's kind of the lesson I learned. Doing that first hike. That 23 mile thing. I can keep walking. So start out and let me tell you, um, for 3/4 of this up and back trail called Clouds Rest, I kicked the snot out of it. If it sounds like I'm bragging, just wait, because there's something coming. Met up with some guys from Virginia, super nice guys, and we kind of pushed each other. And the guy said, "Hey, turn around, man. You see the view." And that's always one of my things about hiking is you can hike to pursue the goal or you can hike to get the scenery. I'm not capable of doing both
Hmm.
at the same time. So if I'm pushing, I'm not seeing. I was like, well, I'll catch the pictures on the way down. And the sun was coming up and starting to illuminate the Sierra Nevadas behind me. So you got this 1,000 foot climb in less than a mile, which was just getting it, getting it, getting it. Okay, up there, took a break, had some jerky, trail mix, all that, caught her breath, and then you go down a little bit, and then basically for about close to 4 miles, you're on this forest floor. It's reminiscent of being in any coniferous forest. I mentioned before, there's times where, uh, I was walking through Yosemite. I go, here's where the ambush is. There's always the pass. They always smell the same, and you always know that there's a spot where everything gets quiet, and you're expecting your miles gear to go off and to smell the gunpowder from the blanks and start hearing the shooting because you just this is the ambush site. But that's the way it was. But then you have this climb, then you have this other climb, and that was the big climb. But the next thing you know, you're there,
Right.
and all this apprehension. As long as you keep going and keep your balance, and everybody thought, oh, it's so narrow, it's so narrow. It wasn't that narrow. I think the most narrow was one rock was 3 feet wide, but still the rocks underneath it were 8 foot,
Mhm.
you know. But you get up there and it's totally worth it. And so this is viewing the valley from the total opposite end of the glacier point. But man, you're up there. You are in rarefied air when
Right.
you get to Clouds Rest. They've ranked it the best hike. A lot of people have called it the best hike in Yosemite. A lot of your rangers love to do that hike. And it says average 6 to 8 hours. I did it up and back was 7 hours, 15 minutes, including the breaks. But I did not stop on the way back, and it took me longer. The big part is that first climb was a challenge. And actually, even doing the climb to get up to go down that last 1,000 feet of that initial climb, just put one foot in front of the other, keep on going. Might take about a 5 second break to let people go through whatever. Catch a breath, have a drink of water, but getting down that initial incline, which would be a decline, the initial climb, that 1,000 feet, that was a puzzle.
Okay.
That was
So,
where do I put, so going up was a challenge, but getting down was
Sometimes
the
coming
puzzle.
down is even harder.
And it was just a matter of where do I put my feet so that I don't turn my ankle, so that I don't hyperextend my knee, which almost happened a couple times. And the whole thing is I can't look ahead, I have to look down, which I hate looking down. I want to be able to see where I'm going, but it's that constant thing. You can't do both. You can't enjoy the scenery and
Hmm.
get after it at the same. I can't do it at the same time. But eventually got back and I was done.
You you hadn't developed your trail legs. Um, that's a problem. You get out there enough and whatnot, you'll develop your trail legs, and you won't be looking down as much. You still got to look down, but not near as
It's
much.
I found out that one of my feet, if I'm not careful, it was the itty bitty things. It was tree roots
Mhm.
that'd catch you. I wasn't lifting up my feet high enough, bottom line, or didn't see it, so you step on it and it's just
Mhm.
that little bit of wobble, like whoa, 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 whoa. But getting down, and those guys had moved on without me on the way down, and I actually enjoyed that because I was alone.
Mhm.
So you know, everybody thinks the challenge is getting up someplace, and sometimes it is. Sometimes how you descend, that could be the real. That was a challenge for me. That was the hardest part. I know there's some lessons in that too.
A lot of times when we go into a situation, whether it's going uphill in the climb, whatever, um, you have you have the adrenaline uh,
Mm,
because of the excitement. You know,
yeah,
this is new frontier. This is newfound territory. So you kind of have some of that helping you. But coming out on the egress, the exfil, when you're coming out, you're not hyped up anymore,
yeah,
and you've got fatigue kicking in.
uh-huh,
That's part of the. A lot of times, that's where the stumbling comes from. Is from fatigue. Your body's not
yeah,
picking your feet up like it should. So you do have some things that are kind of working against you on the way out. Um, it's a different set of factors. It requires a different thought process. But the thing is, you learn from those things, you adjust and keep moving.
yeah,
The biggest thing is you give yourself a reason not to quit. You just
yep.
keep going. You know.
It reminded me several years ago. I remember telling you about this, where I had a dream that you and I were sitting around and we were. It was almost like a lab, like a biology or
Mm-hmm.
chemistry lab, and we were at these tables, and every table they would have this timer. It was work the solution, solve the problem, work the solution, and they were like different puzzles that we would have to do, and in a way that's kind of what we do with the word on the
Yep.
front. We're just working out different issues we're going through
Yep.
a lot of times, and if that can help other people work through theirs. But I just thought about that dream the whole time down. Work the solution. There's a solution here. How do you get down? Work the
Just work
solution.
it.
But we think about that when I said, man, I kicked the snot out of it. Yeah, up there, yeah, smoked it.
Mm-hmm.
And coming back halfway, doing good. And then I think I texted you. I said that favor was returned on that last quarter. It smoked me, man. But the Lord already let me know we're going to be all right.
Yeah, we're in a society now that likes to find a problem with every solution
Oh man.
more than it does trying to find the solution to every problem. And so we got to break that cycle. We got to change that way of thinking, and work the solution out. And that can be hard to do because you're fighting against society. You're fighting against everything. Just find a reason not to quit. Just keep going.
Have one other thing because I flew back. The day was done, but I was quickly reminded of this. The Lord put it on my heart. I know this sounds awful simple. Try and be a blessing to at least one person when you're out there.
Hmm.
One person per day. And that brought a lot of fulfillment, whether it's buying somebody a cup of coffee that wasn't expecting it, whether it was just sharing some food on the trail, paying somebody a compliment that's out there trying to get it, be a blessing to somebody. Just being able to do that for one person in a day brought me joy.
Good deal.
And at the same time, after that hike was done, I was never more ready to get away from people. I was able to get with God. Wasn't able to get alone. Still, it was what needed to happen. Oh, and then the day we were recording this, I got a call. My days off were changed. I got an extra day off, and so I usually work Sundays. Dude has no idea. Old brother Lawrence Nolan, we've interviewed. What you doing Sunday? I said, well, he called me on Tuesday. He said, could you fill in for me? And so I fly back and do all that, and ended up sharing some message with his folks over in Murfreesboro today. But just one of those things that let you know God's got you. You're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And for those of you out there in podcast land, let me tell you, when you know that you're in the right place, doing the right thing, doing what the Lord wants you to do, especially if you're doing it for the right reason, ain't no better place to be on planet Earth.
Amen.
Well, folks, this is Rarefied Air. This is Clouds Rest at Yosemite. Ain't no way I could have done this 3 years ago. Set your mind to it. Believe in the Lord. Anything's possible. Keep at it.